Hello and welcome to News Now on TV360. I'm Thelma Okoro. President Muhammad Buhari has renominated Ibrahim Magu to be confirmed as chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission. In a letter, the president urged the Senate to reconsider and confirm his appointment. Senate President Bukola Saraki read Buhari's letter on Tuesday, just after the Senate returned from an executive session. This comes over a month after the Nigerian Senate refused to confirm Magu as EFCC chairman over allegations bordering on corruption. In his letter to the Senate, the president cleared Magu of any wrongdoing as alleged by the DSS. Before now, the upper chamber had delayed Magu's confirmation for about 6 months. The Nigerian Air Force says efforts to determine the cause of the accidental bombing in Ran IDP camp has been derailed by various speculations about the causes and circumstances leading to the incident. The warning comes days after the chairman of Kalabauji local government area of Borno State, Babagana Malarima, said about 234 people have been buried after the accidental bombing. The Air Force, in a statement on Tuesday, says the speculations are not only misleading but detrimental to the ongoing effects to investigate the accident. A committee has already been set up to thoroughly investigate that incident. Now, since the bombing, the Nigerian government is yet to release any figure on the true number of people killed in the accident. The United Nations says no fewer than 11 million survivors of the Boko Haram insurgency are in desperate need of humanitarian aid. Toby Lanza, who is UN's humanitarian coordinator for the Sahel, said this while highlighting the desperate plight of millions in Africa's Lake Chad Basin. The top UN official also called for international solidarity with the people in urgent need. Lanza, who was speaking at the UN headquarters in New York, said the Boko Haram crisis did monumental destruction to the Lake Chad Basin countries, which include Cameroon, Chad, Niger, and Nigeria. The Nigerian government has urged the Bring Back Our Girls campaign group to see the government as a partner rather than opposition in the quest to secure the release of the Chibok girls. In a statement in Abuja, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, said the campaign group's continued portrayal of the government as an adversary and needless firing of darts at President Muhammad Buhari were ultimately counterproductive. Mohammed said the president was doing his utmost best to bring the girls back home safely. He assured Nigerians that the efforts to bring the girls back were continued but sought understanding for not divulging details of the mission. The Inspector General of Police, Idris Ibrahim, deployed helicopters to patrol creeks around Lagos and Ogun State in a renewed effort to rescue 8 people kidnapped on the premises of the Nigerian-Turkish international colleges. The police head also mandated a joint team of police formations involved in the operation to immediately free the victims. Gunmen had invaded the Nigerian-Turkish international college's premises on Friday last week after digging a hole under the school fence. They shot indiscriminately and headed for the female hostel where 3 pupils were seized. A Turkish teacher, a matron, and a supervisor and 2 intending candidates of JAMB were also abducted by the gunmen. The Nigerian Army has denied recalling dismissed soldiers, saying it has no such plans. Army spokesman Sani Usman, in a statement, urged members of the public to disregard such false information. Now, the Brigadier General said the attention of the Army had been drawn to the false information circulating through social media platforms on the purported reabsorption of dismissed soldiers between 2006 to date into the Nigerian Army. Nigeria's Minister of Budget and National Planning, Udoma, has unveiled the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan for 2017 till 2020. According to the minister, the Economic Recovery and Growth Plan, which is a new medium-term plan, is designed to combat the current economic crisis as well as restore growth and ensure sustained inclusive growth. To implement the ERGP, he said the government had arranged 12 strategies though 59 strategies had been developed. Asset divestment and stable oil production, as well as an expansion of economic infrastructures, are part of the strategic plans of the Nigerian government. Legislators in the House of Representatives say unnecessary charges by Petroleum Products Price Regulatory Agency (PPPRA) are the reason Nigerians pay 145 naira per litre for fuel. At a public hearing on Monday, the ad hoc committee on the review of PMS said the 145 per litre pump price was causing Nigerians great pains and suffering. Speaking separately, the organized labor comprising of the Nigerian Union of Petroleum and Natural Gas Workers (NUPENG) and the Petroleum and Natural Gas Senior Staff Association of Niger Pengason and Trade Union Congress said it would not accept another increase in PMS price. A group of lawyers in Nigeria have called on the National Human Rights Commission to wade into the continued detention of its 4 members by the Department of State Services. They have been locked up since December 22, 2016. Lawyers in Defense of Democracy in partnership with Citizens for Good Governance made this request during a march to the commission in Abuja, which is Nigeria's capital city.
Since the 22nd of December 2016. There is no matter in courts against them. There's no criminal offense method against them, but they were just there, kept in detention of the DSSS. We are here to present this petition before you, being the custodian of human rights in Nigeria, that you assist us to seek for their release. You assist us to make this democracy to work, because if it did not, I don't know amongst all of us here who will be the next person that will be incarcerated indefinitely. Indefinitely, when we say indefinitely, without any charge against any court of competent jurisdiction. No access to counsel. We don't have any access to them. We've written to the DSSS. The members of these persons have called to the DSSS. Can we see our relatives? They cannot allow them. Our counsel have written to the DSSS. They cannot allow us access to them.
We have got your petition here. We are going to look into it, and we are going to get back to the authorities and to you.
Thank you very
much. Thank you. I like the fact that you are having a peaceful demonstration. You know, you have a right to protest, but you have to protest peacefully. And that's when your voice will be heard.
Thank you.
So please continue to be peaceful, go about your duties, and we'll look into this petition and we'll get back to you and get back to the authorities on your issues. Thank you.
The Lagos state government has flagged off a deworming exercise for over 60,000 pupils in schools across the state. Commissioner for Youth and Social Development disclosed this during the flag-off ceremony held in Ikeja, Lagos. She says the exercise would be carried out using WHO-recommended drugs. Wife of the governor of Lagos State, Bolanle Ambode, has also urged parents to encourage a clean and healthy environment to prevent them from contracting worm infections. Minister of Youth and Sports Solomon Dalong has assured Nigerians of the safety of all prospective corps members as they get set to begin their orientation course on Tuesday. Dalong gave this assurance in Abuja during the inauguration of 4 utility vehicles at the National Youth Service Corps NYC headquarters. He said that government had put in place some machinery to ensure the safety and protection of the lives of the corps members while in their orientation camps.
Corruption not in my country.
What is wrong with you, man? Saying no. Said I drove for more than 1 hour.
Ìyá mi, ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wọ́n jẹ́ ká lọ jàre. Ká kúrò ń bí báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀ yín. I am assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun, ò lè jẹun. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó o bá kúrò ò lè jẹun. Workshop mi lélẹ́yìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Calm down now. It is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. It's time for business news. Fidelia has all the latest details.
Thank you, Thelma. The Standard Organization of Nigeria has reaffirmed its readiness to continue to strengthen its relationship with manufacturers in the country. SON Director General Osita Aboloma disclosed this while hosting Director General Manufacturers Association of Nigeria MAN. Aboloma stressed the need to review the Memorandum of Understanding signed between MAN and SON in 2013 to meet the realities of the present day.
We have a renewed commitment to serving people better. We have a renewed commitment to make your business environment to be easy. Let us not pretend Nigeria is your biggest market in Africa.
It is.
From my statistics, about 62% of your products are sold here. And we appreciate you. Like every other agreement, it did not envisage the realities of our time. It did not envisage. It was done during the period of prosperity. It did not envisage recession. It did not envisage the hard economic impact of recession on MAN members. We cannot pretend that we don't know that most of your members are folding up because of our harsh economic realities. Some of them are not really practicable.
MAN and SON are partners in progress. This is a very good example of public-private partnership because the relationship we have with each other is different from the one that you normally see between the private sector and the public sector.
The National Bureau of Statistics (NBS) has said more than 89% of Nigerian workers are not registered under the contributory pension scheme. According to a report released by the NBS on Monday, the Retirement Savings Account RSA membership distribution data for the third quarter of 2016 reflected that 7,348,028 workers are registered under the pension scheme out of a total working population of 69,470,000 workers as at the fourth quarter of 2016. This, the report said, represents 10.8% of the total working population in Nigeria. The NBS explained that the trend is not surprising given the largely informal structure of the Nigerian labor force. Now, oil prices rose on Tuesday on evidence that the global market was tightening as low production by OPEC and other exporters drained stocks. Benchmark Brent crude was up 40 cents at $55.63 a barrel, while US light crude was 40 cents higher at $53.15 a barrel. Ministers from the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and big producers outside the group said that of almost 1.8 million barrels per day they had agreed to remove from the market starting on January 1st. 1.5 million barrels per day had already been cut. As a result, the supply balance already appears to be tightening.
Corruption not in my country.
Hello? Yeah, I found your wallet in front of a supermarket. Meet me at Apple Junction. Yes, I'll be waiting for you.
Now we find out. Two of us.
Thank you very much, officer. You know, it's surprising that men like you still exist in the police force.
Yes, so...
Oh, yes.
This is just a token of my appreciation.
Oh, no. You don't need to do this. We're only doing our job.
Thank you very much. God bless you.
You're welcome.
Now I know police is really my friend.
Yes.
Friend. Hey. Okay, which came up with this one now? I don't understand.
You know your problem. You are greedy. I'm a policeman who is doing his job. All forms of corruption in the force. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
At least 4 soldiers were killed and 5 wounded on Tuesday when a roadside bomb exploded outside a military camp in a town near Mogadishu. The blast in Afgoye, about 30 kilometers southwest of the capital, took place a day after the Al-Shabaab group carried out a raid in the same town that was repelled by government troops. Al-Shabaab, which has been waging an insurgency across Somalia, claimed responsibility for the bombing. The group is fighting to topple the Western-backed government in Mogadishu. A spokesman to new Gambian President Adama Barrow has denied that any money is missing from the country's state coffers. This comes hours after an advisor to Barrow said that more than $11 million is missing from the country reserves following the departure of ex-leader Yahya Jammeh into exile. Spokesman Halifa Sallah told the BBC that the Gambia Central Bank and all other banks in the country were functioning normally. He said there was no reports of irregularity. Jammeh flew into exile on Saturday, ending his 22 years in power. He had refused to accept election results but finally left after mediation by regional leaders and the threat of military intervention. The league management company has fined Abia Warriors 250,000 naira for their players' conduct during and after their Premier League match against Remo Stars. Also, the Nigerian Referees Association banned referee Abdullahi Dankano for 8 weeks for his alleged misconduct in the encounter won 1-0 by Remo. Abia players protested Dankano's decision to award a penalty in favor of their host. But the referee stood his ground and Victor Mboma converted from the sport for Remo. The visiting team went after the referee in a manner that suggested that they wanted to attack him. Jorge Likins has announced his resignation as Algeria coach after failing to lead the team past the group stages of the 2017 African Cup of Nations. Now, Likins was appointed manager of the Algerian team in October 2016, following the circuit of Milovan Rahivac. His resignation comes a day after Algeria drew 2-2 with Senegal to finish third in their African group. The Foxes crashed out without winning a single game at the group stage. Former world #1 Roger Federer has advanced to the semi-final of the 2017 Australian Open. The Swiss qualified for the semi-final after seeing off Andy Murray's conqueror, which is Germany's Mischa Zverev, 6-1, 7-5, 6-2 in the quarterfinal on Tuesday. This is his first Grand Slam semi-final since last year's Wimbledon. The 35-year-old will now face fellow Swiss Stan Wawrinka in the semi-final, scheduled to hold on Friday. Meanwhile, Venus Williams has also qualified for the semi-final of the first Grand Slam of the year. That's all we have on news now. Thank you very much for watching. I'm Thelma Okoro.